Okay, today we are going to do a review on siman Rishon base, which we learned. Very applicable siman. This review is very, very brief from what we did. It really doesn't do justice to everything that we did in any way, shape, or form, as it usually does, but it is certainly better than nothing. We learned about Shabbos clocks. You can't use automatic timers on Shabbos for business purposes. Moshe Feinstein says you can't set a Shabbos clock in order to turn on a hot plate or an oven in the middle of Shabbos, because then, like, what's the difference between Shabbos and during the week? A Shabbos clock could be used for something that is needed for Kavod or Oneg Shabbos. In honor of Shabbos, for example, you could have a Shabbos clock set on to turn off lights, an air conditioner, heater, etc. They could even turn back on. So, seems like there's a difference between, according to Moshe Feinstein, Shabbos clocks just used to turn on anything versus just specific appliances such as lights and air conditioning. Vending machines. Vending machines, this is a whole discussion. They can continue running on Shabbos if they're located in a place where there are people who primarily aren't Jewish. It's not a problem of mekach memcher, b'Shabbos, making money on Shabbos, doing business on Shabbos. If they're located in a Jewish place, it's correct to lock them before Shabbos and minimally leave a note on them saying that they shouldn't be used on Shabbos. Should be pointed out. Furthermore, the idea is brought down. Minchas Yitzchak, he says that the money that you make on Shabbos, you should have in mind that you're not acquiring it until after Shabbos. Number one. Number two is all of the food items you should have in mind to be makna them, which means to transfer the ownership rights even before Shabbos. You're just gonna say, like, whoever's gonna get on Shabbos, I hereby give any of the contents in this machine to anyone who will purchase them. It's a tricky situation. You were bothered about this also when we learned it.
What do you mean, hefker? What do you mean?
It's not necessarily hefker, but you're basically saying whoever will pay for it, so then they will really have owned it before Shabbos.
Brera type of thing?
Yeah,
What
type
money
of
does the
brera,
person make
exactly.
on Shabbos?
Type of brera. So that's what we learned about with the vending machines. Sprinklers. Some say it's permissible. Some say that it's permissible for a sprinkler to turn on Shabbos. Okay. Now farms would be a problem, even so. However, some prohibit it because they make noise, and it's a problem of belittling Shabbos. Ashrei Milsa, Zilzus the Shabbos. In case of a loss, it'll be permissible, as the Ramah said by the case of the mill, Chaim Shalchitim. And even according to his opinion, the dripper, so to say, which was a hose that goes under plants that don't make noise, and it's not obvious when they're on, that will be permissible. Washing machines, dryers, other appliances. So all of these appliances, right? Washing machines, dryers, dishwashers, other appliances that make noise, they're not allowed to continue functioning into Shabbos unless in a case of great loss. So even though they were on before Shabbos, it's still a problem. Even though we learned if you do something that you're allowed to do before Shabbos, you can do whatever you want before Shabbos to continue on Shabbos, but if it makes a noise, then it's a problem, like these items. Continue running if it will shut off before sunset. All right. So the chiddush is over here that even though it's running after you lit Shabbos candles, nevertheless, it's permissible as long as it's before Shkia, before sunset. Even something that doesn't make noise is problematic because it is considered belittling Shabbos. Listening to tapes and radios is a problem, even if no one else could hear it. It's logical to say that digital picture frame that automatically changes pictures are not a problem. Everything depends on the case. However, alarm clocks, we said that you shouldn't have an alarm clock that has songs going off on Shabbos. That's belittling Shabbos, Ashley Milson. Should also refrain from having a phone ringtone as an alarm. Make sure also not to put the phone near himself because you might come to snooze it while you're tired. Again, nowadays there aren't as many official ringtones. This might not be less of a problem. And additionally, regarding the phone being muksa, if it has other functions, muksa, but if it's only set up that it's an alarm, so then it could probably be moved. But still, you have to be careful about the snooze. Shulchan Aruch says that one is not allowed to to go out near the time of dark with a needle in his hand or with a coal in his hand because he might forget about them and go out with them on Shabbos. Shulchan Aruch says that it is a mitzvah to check his clothing before Shabbos to make sure that he doesn't have anything and they might inadvertently carry it on Shabbos. Okay, what were the questions?
Nope.
What money do you make on Shabbos? I don't understand the question.
I think with the vending machine.
Oh, with the vending machine you make money, yeah. When you own a machine.
Yeah, and then well, let's say it's connected to the internet, like your case, yeah, where
Thank you for bringing that up. I actually forgot to discuss this. Come back to it. It's a whole question if you make money online on Shabbos. So there's leniencies. Depends on the exact case. It would be more of a problem if you're selling a product, probably. If a person is they put your arm on a website, whatever, and they make money from that. They can't take those down on Shabbos, isn't it? Try to do it. There's also a concept of schar havla, which means how could a rabbi make money on Shabbos? There are plenty of rabbis that they have just Shabbos and Yontif. They're on duty. That's it. Just Shabbos and Yontif. So how could they make money? So they say it's schar havla. They're preparing, so to say, during the week for what they're gonna say, and so it's absorbed in the week. So you could say that.
Who leaders in Shabbos, I'm saying, well, what's the havla?
Right. So you say also that there's you have to get your outfit ready or whatever. You have to figure out sometimes stay in a different area. You have to park in a different area, car driver. Right. So say it's schar havla. A lot of times people also they use a mashkiach on Shabbos, but also during the week.
Yeah.
So you have a havla situation. It's absorbed with payments during the week. You see, we're paying a little more during the week, so to say.
But let's
So
say
that-
someone did Shabbos. There's a guy I know who's like a buffer, and he just like kind of did Shabbos because he was off.
Right. So he's not doing any actual malacha, right? He's making money. You still say there's some sort of
You know, you got to travel in. So maybe that's it.
yeah, traveling in. Exactly. There's some
5 times.
so you have that. That's with the internet. In the case of products, you do have a issue. There are some people who are stringent. If you're selling products on a website, what they do also is sometimes they get a partner, so to say, who isn't Jewish. And that way, the money that's made on Shabbos with their partnership is going to the party who isn't Jewish. So you have a few ideas over there.
We talked about
What else
also-
did we miss?
We talked about
We missed a
the
lot.
power of love. We talked about maybe it was this time about earning like interest over in Shabbos.
Again, the interest on Shabbos,
The only problem, I guess, in a 2-day yontif.
yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's a low situation. The thing is, when a person gets paid, it's not like there's one bulk payment that's coming in just because of Shabbos. But even with interest, look, technically, if you look at your certain accounts, if you have a high interest yielding savings account, for example, technically, some accounts you could see the live update daily, how much gets in every single day.
Wow.
You could. I remember we used to. I mean, they closed down, but there used to be an online platform called PurePoint, high interest yielding savings account. They closed, but you were able to see every single day what they give on the interest. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah. So even so, if you would just keep your money in there for one day, it wouldn't do anything. Meaning you might not even be eligible for the interest. So it's a havla type of thing. The interest.
People with a lot of money have something to worry about.
No, what's the difference? What's the difference if you have $100 or $100 million with interest?
Then you're making
If it's there for one day,
maybe a couple $100 a day.
yeah. If it's there for one day, most times you're not gonna be eligible to make money. It has to be in there for more
And
time.
I think
So it's because it's piggybacking off of primarily the weekday and that's why it's fine.
The problem I think about it, and also because I think like, let's say Shabbos is half, so it's the whole day, so, you don't have all the Shabbos. The problem, I guess, is really
To the yontif.
to the young.
It's a 2-day yontif, but even on a 2-day yontif, if you leave your money in a high interest savings account for 2 days, would you even be eligible to make money?
Yeah, you would.
You would?
Mhm.
Okay, so certain ones that you would, then that could then there's what to talk about, and you have to figure out another reason why it would be permissible.
They talk
I don't
about
see everybody
architects and-
running out and taking out their money, that nobody.
No one does.
picks up stock.
No one does.
No.
No one doesn't.
It seems like you, in theory, should, based on the article, kids.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
not no.
The article kids would have a note about
Yeah.
this.
Look, no one does that. Number one. Number two, then you have tax issues also, and it's a tircha, and it's totally passive and whatever. I'm
What do you
saying
mean? When was the tax issue? You pay tax on it?
when you if you pull your money out to sell, then you
No,
pay
I
tax.
think what I'm saying is you
No,
can
again,
track it.
if it's in a high interest savings account, and you make a certain amount of money, you have to pay
Let's
tax.
say you make $100, it's $3 for that day, and it's $6 for 2 days. So the idea is that you could pull that $6 and do something with it.
Yeah, but no one does it.
I don't understand.
Okay, so it requires more thought. Great.